Hi guys. Yeah, I'm not able to make videos few days ago, right? Being procrastinating, just like every other normal human being. But anyhow, I'm back. So till now, you might have seen my other videos where I talk about my schooling, how I was very average, and how I changed that status, like how I grew in my studies and kept doing really good, which I wasn't initially. So I think you have my information about how my schooling was done, right? Now moving toward college. Uh, I'm a BCA graduate, right? It's called Bachelor in Computer Application, which I have completed in 2018, right? And I passed my 10th standard in 2020 and my 12th standard in 2014, right? And BCA is a 3 year course, 3 years course. So when I was doing my BCA, right? And in the class, right, the normal my semesters will go on, my students will have class, I will also have the classes, uh, uh, I'll be in my class. And yeah, before yeah going to the story, I tell you how, like, yeah, so in the class, the normal semesters will happen. And so what teachers will usually do, they will test you in the middle of the class, like they will teach you just to know if they are understanding, the students are understanding, or how smart the students are, how attentive they are, right? And they will test you with the questions what they have been teaching, or maybe the few things which they have taught in the previous classes, they just to get a reminder, they'll ask you questions and everything, right? Even some question, they just want to know, they haven't, not just to know here what is your first hand idea about that, those things. So in my class, I think there was like around 70. We had two sections, and in both of the sections, I think 70 classes were there, and luckily I was in the both of the sections. Like I had chance to study in the A section and the B section. So that's a different story, like this section thing that I'll probably tell you. So yeah, in that section, so yeah, I got to chance and study in both of them. One of them I was there. Most of my time was in with A section. In the A section, I think there was 65 to 70 students, right? And in the class, people will ask question, and the teachers will expect answer. So a lot of time, lot of students will not know the answers, right? And there would be times where nobody know the answers in the class, and I'm the one fellow, like I would know those answers, right? But still I would will not know to answer, just I will hide my face. Like lot of time I did answers, and lot of time I stopped answering those questions, even it could give me a lot of validation from my peers and everything, right? So that will be the topic of the today. Why is a thing, why somebody wants those validation? I think any other person in my place, in my shoes, would love to do that, love to answer, and why I didn't. Same thing, before my semester, like before my college 1 year, I was in my coaching. Like there also I would know and I will not answer. So the reason is pretty interesting, right? Why I didn't want to do those things, right? And later I realized that I should have been answering those things, right? Why I'm not answering those things. So the reason I was not doing, because in my after my 12th I dropped for 1 year, right? uh, Now if if I have to tell this, hey, I draw for 1 year and everything, it doesn't bother me. I feel, I like somebody ask, hey, what are the things which you want to change in your life till now, I would say I don't want to change anything. It has happened to a reason, and it has given things which I required at that time, right? So but in early days of my college, I used to feel guilty that I dropped 1 year. And I didn't drop because I failed my 12th standard, or I had less marks or anything, right? So I dropped after 12th for a 1 year. I dropped, and I never told this thing to. So the folks who are my classmates from my high school, they probably know it, my parents know it, and very close people who see me regularly. But I haven't told this to my college students or even in my professional life, right, that I've dropped or anything. If somebody may asking on point, then I will probably tell. But on my from on behalf, never tell them like, hey, I dropped, because few years ago I used to think that is a bad thing. Why I dropped it, right? There are two, three reasons. Initially, I didn't wanted to drop. I just after finishing my high school, I just wanted to go college and do other things and everything. But my parents are lazy. So my parents they didn't help me out. Like, hey, do you want to take admission? What course is you gonna do, or what is the initiative? Like, they are always late to the party. Also, even in my school, when I was kid and my schoolings, the middle school and the elementary school and everything, right? So one incident I would remember. So whenever you pass on to next class, you have to buy your books, right, from the school and everything. And everybody will buy, and my father, my parents will procrastinate till the last date, even beyond that to buy books. It's not that they have money; they just procrastinate on things, right? So, so whenever the new class will start, I will be always without books and notebook for like first few weeks, and that puts me in a very great danger, because now I'm lagging to my the actual curriculum. I'm missing out on things, right? Unable to go and not read about it. That lags like goes in vicious cycle, and then it takes some time, 1 or 1.5 months to just get over it, and then so it didn't happen in the initial 2 3 like initial classes 6 7 8. There it was very important, because a lot of things were built upon one each other. But yeah, so that I always has to do this thing. Now even now I would curse this to my father, like he was such a procrastinator, big procrastinator, and those things. So yeah, that is my family habit. But yeah, I made sure that I don't repeat that mistake for my child, or I even learning from that, I make sure that if something is really important, I do it on the like really, like if I need something, like it should be on the priority list. So that was the case, and he will be like this. So same way, this procrastination of my parents led me to like, hey, I'm not sure what you're doing. So I dropped it, and then I did try. I didn't even try JE on my first attempt. Right? I thought I'm not prepared, so there is no point of giving JE. I will not get those marks. So I took a drop, and then like in my head I was telling myself I'm preparing for JE, but I was not taking the usual route like people usually follow. Like they go in the competitive tuitions, they will mug up questions, daily give 6 hours, 5 hours of like rote learning, right? I was very chill about, hey, I said okay, I have to do then. So after passing my 12th, I asked my father to give me some device. I had a phone, keypad phone. It has internet. Also, that phone, yeah, that phone. Like even they didn't bought me, somehow from a relative or something. Whenever their phone used to go bad, like some battery issue or something is not working, they will throw around. So I will ask them, hey, if you instead of throwing, you can give me, and then I'll bring it home. I'll do my engineering brain over it, try to fix it. Like if I have 3 4 phones, I make sure that at least half of the phones I fix them. So I'll fix them with different batteries and like misjoin either things. My father is electrician, right? So that things runs into my blood, right? So I could fix things. So I would fix those phones, and 1 or 2 phones were really great. I couldn't have bought this, like those phones I could not bought, but I just fixed it for myself. I fixed it and started using. So I had keypad phones where the internet was available and everything was there. But because that time has started, this time of 2014 or something, right? 14, 15, 14. The era of screen touch mobiles has started, and so now I wanted a big device where I could be more smooth and more productive. So I asked my father to, okay, I need a phone or maybe a tablet or something. So then I decided let's because if I ask phone, they will think that I'm only asking for entertainment and these all things. And my idea was that I need it for learning. I don't care about entertainment and everything, but I need a big device. So I asked for a tablet. So I bought this 7,000 cost SCL uh, tablet. This is the time when I was dropping, and I thought maybe I will prepare from there. Uh, I had this initial idea that in 12th I didn't had lot of access to internet. Only I use it for Facebook and YouTube only songs, and I never used it for learning, right? But yeah, I got some idea like maybe instead of watching these all things and something like this, I should focus on one. So in my after my this thing, my whole preparation was on the basis of YouTube. Like I started preparing for JEE and YouTube. And if you ask me, the content on YouTube is not that great. They all are rote learning methods and everything. I remember I was learning about complex numbers and everything. Yeah, it was better than a book, and it was better than a self study, but not as great. So that time, around 2015 14, I came across this very good website called MIT Open Courseware, right? Where you will find MIT video lectures of maths, computer science, physics, and everything, right? And over there, I came across like beautiful course like Water 11, right? Magnetism and electricity and magnetism course. His course and so many other courses on vectors, math, integration. I came across Khan Academy on YouTube in that moment only. So all my studies were like online based, right? And yeah, so lot of thing was I was learned was incorrect. It was rote learning. It was just to pass the exams in 12th. So I have to correct myself in lot of my basics and foundations, right? So goal was to prepare for JEE, but I was taking from the foundations. I was correcting everything from my foundations, right? How the integration, not to just solve it, understand it, and use it in a real world problems and everything. So I was trying to course correct lot of things which has been ruined by my high school teachers. So that I was very slow. I was very patient, taking one step at a time. My English was not that great. It was good enough, but I wanted to be fluent, more confident. So I would watch lot of movies, and movies. So when I had this laptop, right, I will watch a lot of movies and everything. Yeah, because like it was the open box of I was first time I'm getting connectivity to internet. I've only watched Hindi movies till now. Now I was getting access to for Bollywood, Hollywood movies, so you can see how amazing the time would be. Like so many movies, and I picked up a lot of motivational movies. I remember watching Shawshank Redemption for the first time over there, and so many other movies, right, which was really inspiring for me, and lot of shows as well to improve my English. So that was the time where I was course correcting. I was going through my foundation and trying to learn all those things. So yeah, probably I'll make a video on movies recommendation. So yeah, maybe later. So I was going through and these all thing, right? And yeah, so that was a good time I was learning, but I was pretty slow with my learning, the math, science, everything pretty slow. I was going, understanding little by little, and finally the year come about to come, and my exam was in Haridwar. My center for JEE was in Haridwar, so I have to travel from Dehradun to Haridwar, and there I have to give my exam. And I was not prepared. I had understanding of like this, but I was not in the rhythm of solving. I could solve problems using first principles, like figure out things. I will derive equations at that moment. Like I didn't remember any formulas. I was like so, what do you say, so stubborn that okay, the only way is I'm going to use first principle, derive every equation, and then use this equation to the desired question. So this was my strategy. It is very good strategy because I don't have to remember a lot of stuff. Any point without any help, I could derive a lot of things, right? So I derivations I would understand. I would understand how I can derive those things and formula. I don't have to remember. So this was my method, but that's a terrible method for a competitive exam. It is a very good method for your lifelong learning, but very terrible. I never practiced. Even on my last days, I couldn't complete the syllabus what JEE required, right? I couldn't revision through. So I didn't had great, somewhere positive or negative. I don't even remember. I think it was negative or something. or some positive number 20 25, maybe 20 25, something like this, not negative. That would be terrible, yeah. So that was my score. And also somebody told me don't go with random choices, right, randomly if you miss out. So I did the opposite. I just played my luck. Like I could have got a good, I think good college with that government ranking, not probably IT, JEE or something like this. But yeah. So I failed terribly in my JEE, right? I wasted 1 year. The good part was that I was able to experience lot of entertainment, lot of culture, lot of self-reflection. I had time to self-reflect on myself in terms of education. Still, I was not very. I was not taking care of my health that time. Uh, I would not shave, like I would have this long beards and everything in that time. Right? I would not shave, like completely in a mess state. Whatever I'm reading, maybe I was also rebellious to my parents, like, hey, look what you did to me. I'm not giving you a shave. Like, you should not have done that. You should have sent me somewhere, right? But that didn't happen, and yeah. So that how my whole 1 year passed. I had good time. I made one good friend at that time, because this time usually all my friends this time was made by because I was studying in a school or a tuition. So if you go there and if you see somebody for 5 days regularly, you tends to become friends easily without any doing thing. But the real friends you met is not because you're seeing each other for every day in some class or institution. The real friends are like you met somehow and you both of you take efforts to meet again and do this thing. So yeah, I did met a friend, really good friend in my neighborhood. That time he was doing his college from some university where he doesn't have to regularly go. So we both were like very free people. Well, I would read 3 4 newspaper in the morning. He would do the same, and we have a lot of time together. So yeah, I'd watch movies and everything. I'll play sports as well, sometime in the evening. So yeah, I had a pretty good time. I was learning with the foundations, and I did terrible in my G. So now this time I started like, hey, no, I cannot waste my time. Probably I don't want to take a government college and go to, because I was living in Dehradun. I don't want to go somewhere else. So yeah, then idea was to, I'm not Dehradun but near to Vikas Nagar. Like I have to like travel like 30 kilometers every day if I have to take any college in Dehradun. So that time I decided that I've heard about this university, Graphic Era, right? So there I was thinking, even I have heard about a lot of people. It has good reviews from I seen a lot of my friends brothers who used to go in this school. Even so I dropped, right. So my friends, a lot of my friends took BTech, right, and they have passed their first year and they will be there, right. That so one of my friend and one of my two of my friends were there in that university, which I knew, right. They were studying there. Two of my classmates, very close classmates. But they one was in mechanical and other was in CS. So they has already completed 1 years, and I wanted to join. So one of the reason was that I don't want to be junior to these guys. Like if I join or something like this, and I like the Graphic Era, right? It has good environment, good building, good facilities and everything. It was popular, like it has name around the city, right? Yeah. So that was there, and I chose to like maybe yeah, this is this college. Maybe I'll get the chance to reunite my friends. I already learned that. So now, if you see my previous video, I told you like, hey, never follow your friends, right? I followed my friends to my high school, and it was a terrible decision. Now I didn't I even like second time also. Maybe I should have chosen some school which might be nearby to me or something like this. That would be a good option. But yeah, I didn't had any good colleges near my house, right. There were few where I could go, but they were cheap and not that good. Study, like every college is same in that. Study in the end you have to study only, right? Just only good colleges are those where there is a possibility of less cheating in exams. If a college is able to maintain that there is no cheating exam, I think then people will, like student will automatically read themselves and everything, and I think there will be standards. But if college is like don't do their examination properly, then it becomes terrible. No, nobody studies and everybody is dependent on cheating and these all things. Everybody pass and teachers will let you pass, and that's a bad on it. So one thing about my college was that yeah, there was no cheating or such a thing, right? Where you could do and do a lot of things. If you don't study, you will probably fail, and you only have to study. So teachers are there to do their job, not to teach you. This is part they will do like third hand when all the things are sorted, right? Then everything is done, their house is going well, everything, then they will like, at the fourth or fifth priority, like okay, let me handle something for these students, something like this. I know I'm deviating from the main topic, why I didn't used to answer those questions, right? I'll get come to that, remember. So yeah, so that was my time. Yeah, where I was, yes. So so yeah, so teachers so will not. So I decided the college, and so one thing I missed out in my story is that when I have dropped that time, I also applied for a tuition somewhere in the half year in my drop year. So that tuition was not for JEE. It was for 12th student, 12th standard student, which have already passed. But if you know the curriculum for JEE is very like same, like they will teach the same thing. Like it overlaps a lot of things, right? So instead of going for anything, I said, okay, I forgot everything what I've read in 12. Now I need a revision. So I asked my parent, maybe I could go to this this tuition. So that was in Selagoi, called RMR tuitions and everything, right? So there I went there. So again, those teachers who are expert of these things, exams, and because they've been teacher for a long, they know pattern recognition, what kind of question comes and what kind of question student need to answer. So their goal was to just make you good marks, not make you understand the concepts that properly, right? Goal was something like this. They will have multiple exams and tests and everything that will go in loop. So over there I went because I've already learned those things. I felt like, so over there I was like, I already have studied but I didn't know. I was in the middle. I was not too dumb and not that smart that I needed tuition. So I knew a lot of stuff from there. For me it was easier to understand things than the newcomers, right? I've already passed those exams. I tried to hide my identity over there, right? And yeah, so over there as well, I will know a lot of things, and then I will not answer those things because it was making me terrible student. I was demotivating other people who was learning for the first time. They was like basically the 12th class students, right? I don't want to make them look dumb because I've already studied this class again and answering them. Even let's say, so that I was feeling really guilty about myself. Like if I know, even I won't, like one or two I did and then I regretted it back. Like I didn't feel good about myself. What is the point? You're studying again. You will probably answer. These people are studying for the first time. How they would answer those things, right? So that guilt was there, and then I stopped answering. Like even I know I'll be silent. Like if the question nobody answers the class, then teacher will automatically start teaching and tell the answers. But I would never go by myself and answer those things. So this guilt was there. That teaching didn't help me that much, but yeah, it gave me some motive to come out of the bed and go somewhere, right? It just gave me that motive. So I think I took 3 months. I think I took that uh, coaching. Yeah, yeah, couldn't take best out of there, but this guilt was there over there, and this guilt I carried forward when I joined this thing, my university, my college. And over there I would know, and then I will not answer because I feel like I'm already 1 years older than these people. And so probably if you see my physical structure, I would not look like that I'm too old, or in the class I'm the biggest guy in the class or oldest guy in the class. I would be normal age what other people are, same age as them. But I had this guilt, like I would dare, I have more time, I don't want to crawl to the mic's comment, I don't want to discourage that, hey, you guys not understanding, I'm understanding, I'm better than you, something. So this guilt was killing me, and I would not answer and just sit there. But as soon first year went, second year went, third year, and when I became really close friends with everybody, then came to know that in my last semester or somewhere, that there were a lot of people who has dropped like me in the class. There were a lot of people who has dropped in the class, and they were there, like I could say like 60-40 ratio, like 40% of my university student has dropped like that. BCA is that second degree course, right, when you can't do BTech. So I also took BTech because BTech's fees was really hard. So I took BCA, and one of the reason I took, sorry, yeah, so I couldn't do. So you understand why I didn't able to answer, and the reason now I tell you that which courses I picked. So as you know, I was dropping most of my two of my classmates were there over there. They were in the first year. They reached their first, second year of their BTech degree. I didn't wanted junior, so what I joined BCA, because if I join BCA, it is a 4-year course. I already dropped, so for me, I was on the same scale as them, right? We both three of the other. I will same time I will graduate with them only, nothing different, right? And BTech, BCS cheap is one third of the BTech, whatever the somebody gives in BTech. One third or one half, probably one half, like between one third and one half somewhere. Uh, so that was the fees, and so if you say I was getting all the facilities of university, uh, teachers were, I think, 1% better in the BTech, 1% less. But in the end, I have to study. In the BTech also, if I were there, I have to self-study myself. And over there, I have to self-study. So I don't think that would have brought much difference. And the classes in BTech was from 9 to 5 every day. And in BCA, it would be like 1 to 5 or 9 to 1 or something like this. Only half of the time what the BTech guys would go through. So it was fun. I wanted to, I knew that the education will I have to do myself. I never believed in college degree. I was aware of this thing in my 12th only. I got this awareness. So I know, let's say, if I have to enjoy my college, if I have to socialize, then there is no point of taking such a degree as BTech and then kill yourself. Take a BCA, which will be a little easier. You will get time to do a lot of other things, and you will be at the same yearly scale, which even if you dropped, you will pass at the same time as your friends. And also the reason why I didn't answer, then later came to know that there was a lot of people, 40% of people were in my class was dropped, right? And even the coaching center, there were students who might have failed or something like this, and they were like repeated some 10th standard class. So there would be people like that, and they were not that kind like me. I would answer, they tried and they failed, and I could have been the best student, like by saying those answers, right? I don't have worry, I don't should have guilt, because I knew 40% of students are there, they could have also answered, even they have repeated. That fact I know later, and then I regretted, like I should have probably answered. I would have so much confidence and a lot of validation in my class. But yeah, it's a regret, but yeah, I'm okay with it. So that was the reason I didn't did, right? And when I know that a lot of people were who have dropped, then it was like bad, man. I should have done, right? So that is it. And so this is the reason I didn't did, and that was guilty. I hope if somebody is going through, if somebody has dropped in their school or something like this. I know a friend who have dropped 2-3 years, not even 1 years, and they are very good, doing good in their life. I have dropped. I have no complaints, and also uh, there is a book called Tim Ferriss, 4 Hours or something like this, 4 Hours of Productivity. Yeah, Tim Ferriss has wrote many books. One of them books I read in that time. So that says that whenever you work on something, you need to make sure you take breaks properly. Let's say when you're studying, make sure you study for an hour or something, then you take a 15-minute breaks. Let's say then you progress it like this. When you study for 4 or 5 days like this with the small breaks in the middle, then you take a break on weekends for 2 days like Saturday, Sunday. Once then you study for continuously for 1 or 2 months with the same pattern. Then 2 3 months after that, like a 6 month semester, then you take a big break of like 15 days. Enjoy your time, gives yourself a rest and refresh and get back. So this refresh period, something like this. So understand, you have been studying from one class to 12th without any breaks. You had your summer breaks, which is small 2 3 months, but which you are already taking. Now it's time to progress your break, right? So if you see that pattern, right, you would probably needed a break after 12th. So that break I got, like I was very recharged. I was very excited. I was in so high in energy when I reached my college. So I was just waiting for this moment. I was like bored till that my for year 1 year. Other people were also excited after 12th, but they will not be as excited as me, right? So that energy was like so up when I reached college. And you know, you're only there for like college, university, you only go for 4 or 3 years in your life. And you make sure that you enjoy that 4 or 5 years with your highest energy. So don't just go just soon after 12th. You can take your time, you can take a rest. You can figure out what you think, what actually fits your family's financial condition. And yeah, you can give time to explore this thing. And also when I reached there like college, so if as you mentioned in my story, right, how bad my schooling was initially, how I recovered from it, right? So this idea has stuck to my, because of changing my schools. I know this, whenever you go to new school, you can portray a new image of your. So the last time when I changed my high school, I didn't knew about this fact, but I could observe this effect, that whatever my previous personality was there, that has been left there. I created a very similar, little different personality this time because of the new environment. Now people didn't knew my mistakes which I have done over there. They could see a fresh, accomplished version of me and have more respect and everything. They haven't seen my failures, how bad I was in there, and now they look as my complete whole package thing. So I had a lot of respect amongst my peers when I was in my second school, because they couldn't see how miserably I failed in the first and second initial school. So that I would be very smarter if I would learn this in my second school, but over there I understood this effect and then applied this effect when I reached college. So I had a different personality. So in my high school, my personality was, yeah, I was a, so in my first school, which I mentioned, the first Christian school which I was there I was a dumb kid, very dumb. I didn't know how to speak, I didn't know how to write, nothing was there. So that was my, there was no impression. I had only bad impressions on people. My impression was I was a bad kid, went through shit, and in the end I was better. But your first impressions never goes away, right? Even how much better you do. So that in the second, it was a Punjabi school, just like in previous school or Christian school. This was a Punjabi school. Now I was better in reading, writing, speaking. I was more confident, and the other folks were not as accomplished as me. So I got this edge. I was confident. I was good. So now the image was good. I could portray a version of me, which was better than what I was initially. They never saw my mistakes. So I was like really good image I had. I was not very loud, extrovert or something, but I would be humble, little confident, like mix of humble and confidence. Yeah, I'm not a good womanizer, I would say. I would just average. I never thought that route. But now I was getting hornier, hornier. Like the testosterone was like beeping all the. So this time I wanted no, that I don't want to be the studious guy. I want to be cool, fun guy, chill, who people would love to make friends, love to enjoy. Also studies well. Like I'm just the best of the both, like all the world, best of both world, third world, fourth world, every world. So that was the idea. How would I? So this time in my college, I knew that I could be whatever personality I to be. I can pull off, right? Just have to be that character. So yeah, it's just from that person. I was good enough guy. I was very liberated in terms of education, everything. Right? You cannot change the soul of the person, but you can definitely have a good appearance. So this time I was more like a guy who is interested in women, interested in public speaking, extroverted things. He was loud, and these are things. I never used to dance or something very confident or anything, right? But yeah, so when I joined my college first year, I'm very excited. I completely portrayed a new image of me, who was a very fun person and also smart at the same time. And we had our freshers. Like, you have this program when you join, you have this party, just like prom, you would have freshers, and there people will judge you on the basis of how well you're enjoying, how well you're participating, how well you're winning, and then you will get this title Mr. Freshers and this whole thing, right? So I was very extrovert. I was in a character. I wanted to portray a new image of me. This was a time, right? I can take out a new version of myself, so that I have a very clean slate for me, right? And I was extroverted. So I portrayed a very. It's like I'm a good actor. I portrayed really great image of me. I was dancing. I was good. A lot of friends I made, genuine friends I made. People respected me with an ups and down. I really performed well. So I remember we had this festival freshers, right? And there would be like everybody was called upon on a stage and do your task. Like, if you could sing, you could dance and everything, right? There'd be some competition as well going on. So yeah, I was in the queue for dance, and then one another guy was called on the stage like before me to dance, but he was not able to dance and everything, and the music was going for the waves. I immediately joined him, and we both started dancing, right? So I wanted to separate myself from different crowd, right? So I started with dancing with him, and then we both danced, kind of thing. And then actually my turn came, and then I really danced well. And all the like I was being like very noticeable. I was very energetic, very noticeable, very like this thing and everything, and impressed people with that. So I couldn't. So there were some other people who won Mr. Fresher and Mrs. Fresher, but there was a second title called Mr. Spark and Mrs. Spark, right? So I got Mr. Spark, right? Like, I had this spark in me, right? People could feel around me. So yeah, I never thought that I would be that cool. And I was playing a character. I was playing a character, literally. I was not that guy. I was not. Just because I knew I could paint any picture over here, I did. And I got very respected. Now people knew me in my both of the sections and the other BSc IT as well. So our whole department of computer application, new teachers would recognize me. So I had really good start. Yeah, probably I have a few more things to share. If you think that my school journey was a good journey, like interesting, then my college are even better. Like, lots of, now I would say it is good for me, but there is lots of ups and downs, and there is so much learning in it, right? Which you guys can figure out from there. So yeah. So probably I also did a lot of part-time job in my college. So I will come to make those videos about in a separate video. Already it has been 38 minutes, I guess. Yeah. So yeah. So you know the reason why I didn't use to answer, because I was feeling guilty in my class that I'm older than these people. But later came to realize they were all the other people whom I wanted to look bad. Uh, but yeah, there were so many other people. I could have done it. I should have thought. So I'm very empathetic, sometimes over empathetic. That kills my vibes. So yeah, that correction should be made now. Okay, then probably we'll see you in the other videos. Keep supporting. Thank you for showing a lot of love in the comment section and the likes. Thank you.